We're standing in front of Independence Hall in Philadelphia. This is where America was born. In 1776, the Continental Congress met here, and Thomas Jefferson drafted the Declaration of Independence. Congress approved it on July 4th, and that was the beginning of the American nation. Of course, that didn't take us all the way to where we are today. After the Declaration came the Revolutionary War, and after that, the Articles of Confederation, our first failed attempt at a national government. And in 1787, delegates from 12 states met again at Independence Hall to propose revisions to the Articles. What emerged, after months of secret deliberation, was the Constitution.
I want to ask you something.
Yeah.
You know, we're constantly being pulled over and harassed and stuff like that.
Sure.
Do you have a phone number or anything that if, you know, it's kind of a part of what we're dealing with, where
Right.
you could save that for us or send it to us?
Well, I have a YouTube channel. I can send it to you if you have a cell phone or a Facebook account. I can send it to you right away as soon as I create the video.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
So you have a Facebook account?
I have a Facebook account, but more importantly, I have a YouTube channel.
A YouTube channel?
Yeah.
What is your, can I get that from you?
Of course.
All right.
Yeah, my name is Andre, and I don't.
A-N-D-R-E?
A-N-D-R-E-I.
Oh, wow. Okay.
And so my YouTube channel is 4 words: Horizon City News Service. Yes, I'm trying to get in touch with the records department.
This is.
Hi, I'd like to send a records request by email. Is there an email address I can get?
You have to come in because there's a fee for it.
A fee for a records request?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Okay.
Copy of a report?
Actually, this is for an affidavit.
Affidavit for what?
For a warrant.
We don't do that here.
Well, there was a warrant that was issued by a judge to the Fort Wayne Police Department.
But we don't do affidavits here. I can send you back to our supervisor and you can talk to her. Hold on a moment for me.
Okay.
Police records, this is Chris. Can I help you?
Yes, I'm trying to get a copy of the probable cause affidavit for a search warrant.
Okay, and when did this all take place?
Back on September 20th. I have the control number.
Okay, well, that's going to have to be subpoenaed.
Subpoenaed? I mean, I thought it's already public information.
That's not public information.
A search warrant?
Uh-uh.
A search warrant should automatically be public information.
And why is that?
Well, because when a search
It's
warrant...
part of an investigation, and if a case is considered investigatory, it's not public.
Okay, well, I was assuming that this particular search warrant, that there was no further investigation because the search has already been concluded.
Okay, what's the case number and who are you?
My name is Andre, and I have the control number for this search warrant.
Okay, go ahead.
All right, 19, S as in Frank, 116 017.
I don't even have access to that report.
All right.
So that definitely means you're going to have it subpoenaed.
You're saying that you don't have access to it because it's in some sort of secret file or something, or?
Well, when I don't have access to something, then they have it sealed. So you're going to have to get a subpoena for that.
Okay.
Okay.
Would you be able to at least give me a phone number or a place where I could begin that process? Or?
You just get an attorney and have him subpoena it.
I see.
I can't tell you which attorney to get.
Okay, well, could you at least provide me the number to the county clerk?
If I can try and find it. This is a city office. Hang on.
Okay.
Well, we've got Allen County Surveyor, Health Department. Are you sure you don't want Allen County Court? Because if you've already been to court on this,
Allen Superior Court is the court I'm referring to.
So you want Allen Superior Court, not...
Yeah, is there a clerk for that court? Like,
well, it'd just be, it's under Allen Superior.
Oh.
There's a clerk department. I mean, let's see. Hang on just a second, okay?
Sounds good.
Fort Wayne Mayor Tom Henry and the Allen County Commissioners, Nelson Peters, Therese Brown, and Rich Beck, would like to thank you for your call and for your patience, and would like to take this brief opportunity to inform you of city and county news and area happenings. We welcome your comments, questions, and concerns. For immediate assistance, please dial 311 and let us know how we can help. A courteous 311 operator will personally answer your questions or will direct your call to the office that can best assist you.
Do you live in a home built before 1978? If so, you're...
Hey, sir, try 449-7330.
Okay, and that number is to...
Allen Superior Court.
He wants to mace somebody. It's not even for his protection. He just wants to mace peaceful protesters. He doesn't have enough fingers and toes between all of them to tell you how many people he assaulted today. He has no idea how many rights have been violated just today. They're already planning for tomorrow. The First Amendment guarantees you the right to freedom of speech, freedom of the press, the right to gather in peaceful protest. The Fourth Amendment guarantees you the right to be safe from illegal search and seizure. You're free within your persons, your papers, and your effects, and that progress shall and will not be impeded.
I'm about to give you my ID.
You weren't wearing a seatbelt. Yes, you do.
That's an infraction. You need to give me your ID. No, I don't need to give you my ID.
Yes, you do.
No, I don't. Do you need to pull you out of the car?
Okay, you're going to end up in the same situation that he's in.
I don't have to give you my ID.
Okay.
Because I don't have to.
I just told you, you failed to identify yourself. You weren't wearing a seatbelt because you haven't been a seatbelt since we were over here.
How do you know that?
Because I was on the passenger side this whole time.
Yeah, but
We're about to break your window. Ma'am, open the door over.
Break that window and then get glass all over me and hurt me.
3 seconds. Listen.
I want his window broken.
Okay?
Please unlock your door.
Just open the door.
Tonight at 10 o'clock with day number 1 in the Amber Geiger trial, which almost ended before it barely began. In day 1, we have learned what was happening in the hours and the moments leading up to that deadly shooting. Details about an explicit conversation. Also, we now know the makeup of the jury in this case. We get underway tonight with Andrea Lucia with one of the most surprising revelations from the trial today. She's over at the Frank Crowley Courthouse for us tonight in Dallas. Andrea?
Yeah, Doug, that revelation was this ongoing conversation between Amber Geiger and her partner. This is evidence that the defense did not want jurors to see. Prosecutors say both officers deleted this conversation from their cell phones. And when asked why, Geiger's partner said this wasn't something he wanted to be reminded of. In the opening day of trial, Officer Amber Geiger saw her former partner take the stand.
Would you send provocative photographs of yourself to Amber Geiger?
Yes.
Officer Martin Rivera testified about the racy messages they exchanged the day she shot and killed Botham Jean. Want a touch? Read one Geiger sent around 9:30 that night. 30 minutes later, she texted, I need you, hurry. And then, I messed up, but using an expletive. Their messages, prosecutors say she typed while on the phone with 911 reporting she'd shot Jean.
Should you be giving 100% of your attention to the person who's dying in front of you if you can?
Yes, you should.
Should you be sending text messages?
No.
Jean's family's attorneys called the messages revealing.
At the time that Botham was struggling to take his very last breath, we saw a police officer who was more concerned about herself.
Botham was my little brother.
Alyssa Charles Finley testified she spoke to her brother nearly every day, including the day he died.
He's still in my favorites on my phone, so I've called sometimes just to see if he will answer. So I haven't accepted it as yet.
Prosecutors say Geiger overlooked multiple warning signs, including Jean's bright red doormat, that she was walking into the wrong apartment. But defense attorneys told the jury she was operating on autopilot and made an innocent mistake.
But she's thinking, oh my God, there's an intruder in my apartment. And she's face to face with him. She's within 10 yards of him, and he starts approaching her. And she reacts like any police officer would who has a gun with confronting a burglary suspect.
A Geiger's supervisor testified that when confronting a burglar like this, Dallas police officers are trained to do a tactical retreat and then to call for backup. But attorneys on both sides disagreed over whether that still applies when officers are off the clock. Doug?
Andrea, let's talk about a couple of things before you go. Prosecutors also brought up a phone conversation Geiger and her partner had. They said about 3 minutes or so before the shooting happened. Any idea what role prosecutors think this may have played in all of this?
Yeah, Doug, prosecutors say that phone conversation lasted about 16 minutes, far longer than their usual phone calls. And they even said that Amber Geiger pulled her car over while it was taking place. Prosecutors suggested that something may have happened on that call that affected her mindset just minutes before the shooting. Her partner testified, though, that he didn't recall anything unusual.
All right, a lot to get to there. And also, before the day even got started, the defense asked for a mistrial to be declared. What can you tell us about what that was about?
Well, Doug, the defense revealed that the Dallas County District Attorney John Creuzot actually gave a interview to a television station this weekend where he talked about the case. That's a problem because there is a gag order in place, and just take a look at how the judge reacted to this.
So let me be clear. On last night, the evening prior to the start of this trial, the elected DA did an interview about this trial.
Well, after jurors told the judge they didn't see that interview, she denied the request for a mistrial. Doug?
More than a few eyebrows raised when we all heard that. Andrea, thank you. Day number one down. We did get our chance, by the way, to see the makeup of the jury as well while our crews were in the courtroom today. So here's what we know. We got 8 women, 4 men on the 12-person jury. 5 of them are black, 4 Hispanic, 2 people are white, 1 person of Asian descent. There are also 4 alternates. All of those are women. All of them are sequestered now for the length of this trial. Day number 2 of the Geiger trial gets underway tomorrow morning at 8:30. We have learned a lot on day number 1, but there's still so much to cover. Of course, Geiger's attorney said today that she will take the stand at some point during the trial. We're also expected to hear about Geiger's training records, overtime details from her time card, also details of arrests made and citations issued on the day that Botham Jean was shot and killed. All of that was subpoenaed, we know, by her attorneys for this case. And you can watch every moment of the ongoing Geiger trial unfiltered and online on our website, cbsdfw.com. We'll stream it daily also on the CBS DFW Facebook page. Make sure to like us on Facebook, and then you'll get alerted when we go live.
Hey, y'all. Thank you for tuning in to David's Life and Observation. I've been gone for a while. I've been in Mexico for the last month and a half, so I've been really busy, and the way our schedule worked, the way the schedule worked, and a lot to do with the internet connection, was just rough on getting a lot of content out, and content that I did capture wasn't even for me. So I was out there to do a job, and I'm glad I did that job. I'm glad I was out there. I got to see some wonderful fights in Mexico City, and can't wait for a follow-up in Boston, which I'm trying to finagle tickets for. Anyways, moving on. Just sitting back. When I got back, a lot of things I noticed in the news, especially recently, was Amber Guyer's, I don't even know how you say it properly. Hopefully that's the way you say it. Trial is going on. And I have a question real quick about that trial. Why the fuck is there even a trial? She murdered a man in cold blood. She thought it was her apartment, which is obvious a lie. The cops covered a lot of shit up because her compatriots are going to cover shit up. That's what's going to happen. Law enforcement in that situation were terrorists. Essentially, they're the ones who should have said, you know what, hey, one of our own just committed this heinous crime. We need to call outside agencies to come do this investigation because we're going to be the first ones on scene. And how's that going to look? They didn't care. They never care how they look anymore. There's no accountability. There's the one-off accountability, that you get, and that's when the entire department is throwing one guy under the bus, even though 15, 20 people were there when the crime was committed. Not in her situation, but in other situations, like when there's a use of force incident and somebody, gets caught up with use of force, it's usually one or two officers that go down for that, even though 15 officers were present. If 15 or so officers are present when use of force happens and they don't report it properly, they don't do anything about it, yes, they all should go down. That's how it works for the civilian world. You commit a crime with somebody, it doesn't matter if you just happen to be in the vehicle, you still going down for that crime. Hey, you drive an Uber, some dude's packing a bunch of fucking weed, and you pick the dude up and like, I'm sorry, you're probably still gonna catch a charge with that dude. It's the way it's gonna go. So I'm a firm believer of, hey, a law enforcement officer commits a crime, every officer involved in that incident, if their incident reports do not reflect the fact that that other officer committed a crime, then they are party to the crime. They are party to the cover-up of that crime. And especially if there is an incident where law enforcement officers off-duty commit a crime, it should be another agency, state troopers, FBI, whatever have you, whatever different agency, let's say it's a sheriff's deputy. Well, the local PD and also probably federal investigators should take a look into that case instead of the sheriff's department, because they're obviously going to cover for their pal. I mean, cops are going to cover for their pal anyway. It doesn't matter what agency is with who, but it's just sad that we're even having a trial for this woman. She committed the crime. We know she committed the crime. It should be very easy for a judge or any jury to be like, you know what? Hey, she committed this crime. She does the time. There's no accidental deaths. It's called manslaughter. Oh, I didn't know it wasn't my apartment. You're lying. You're lying. Your actions before and afterwards don't follow suit with anything logical. So the whole fact that there is a trial for this woman is amazing. It's sad. It degrades actually the justice process. We're supposed to have due process. We know she committed the crime. She's trying to cover up the fact that she had intent. Even if she didn't have intent, that's manslaughter. It's manslaughter. Give her the charges. Let her sit in prison. She deserves to go to prison for the rest of her life. Any officer that commits a crime should get actually double the amount of punishment any citizen gets. They should be in fear. Any public servant should be in fear of absolute, not just termination, but they should be in fear of serious prison time, committing crimes when you have the trust of the people. And that's the way that needs to go. So the fact that we're having this dumbass trial for Absolutely no fucking reason. And you know what's probably going to happen? She's probably not going to be, they're probably going to say, you know what, hey, not guilty. Or they're going to say, you know what, hey, you're guilty, but we're going to bust it down to a misdemeanor. We're not even going to hit you with manslaughter, and you're only going to do 30 days in jail. And then the family, because, you know, fuck the family of the victim, because that's pretty much what cops do is fuck people constantly. It's just sad. It's just the way it's going to go down. You're going to have the cop apologist be like, especially when you got, what do you call those motherfuckers? Texas Rangers saying that she didn't commit a crime. Are you purposely being slow in that situation? Are you that much of a fucking moron to not see the fact that she came in and killed a person, so therefore that is not a crime to you? What the fuck kind of sense is that? And are you a fucking moron? Let's just be real. Are you a moron? And how dare you go in front of the people and say that? How fucking dare you go in front of the people and say that at all? That's just amazing to me. It really is. Let's talk about the Trump impeachment shit. Impeach him for what? For what? Are we still beating the door down on, oh, he was colluding with Russia? Are we still going down that road? And just because you have 30 Republicans that support that notion, those motherfuckers never supported him in the first place. Everybody's mad at fucking Trump. Everybody wants to target Trump. And it's been an ongoing fucking blood feud to get him out of office. We're running up to the end of his road when it comes to him being in office. Dems, you lost. And you don't do yourselves any fucking favors when you have politicians that say the dumbest fucking things I've ever seen politicians say. When you make a mockery of Senate committees, when you make a mockery of damn near everything that you do, and I'm not even for Republicans. Fuck Republicans. They're dumb as fuck too. Those theocratic pieces of shit wants to those are the do as I say, not as I do motherfuckers, man. It's so ironic that, like, let's say any Star Trek fan is going to understand this. Republicans are the Ferengi. Ferengi are the Republicans. Those dumbass people, the only thing they care about is profit and their belief systems. Fuck the actual law. Fuck what other people think. They don't care. They always try and bring in religion into the conversation of politics, but they don't want to hear about any other religion, just Christianity, and not just Christianity, their brand of Christianity. They're theocrats. Republicans are dumb as fuck. They want you to look the other direction while they do all sorts of dumb shit. And it's both parties. Both large parties have dumbasses on both sides of the aisle. They really do. They don't make sense. They're theocratic. Both motherfuckers are theocratic. Democrats and Republicans. And they don't really care about the American people. If they cared about the American people, they would have legalized weed already. There should have been no reason under the sun that it would have got put on illegal status anyway. No reason. The reason it got put on that kind of status is for profit and political reasons. It had nothing to do with the actual plant itself. It had medicinal uses, and hemp has 1 million applications and uses. CBD oil has 1 million applications and uses. We're seeing it. But both sides of the aisle want to demonize weed. Like, how fucking dumb are you? The war on drugs is a failed war on drugs. It hasn't worked. You incarcerated millions upon millions of people. There's millions and millions and millions and millions of lives ruined from politicians up and down the justice system chain of command. You got from the lowly beat officer all through prosecutors and judges who've committed heinous atrocities to mankind over plants, over drugs. Yeah, if you're going to arrest someone for drugs, why the fuck put them in a place where they're still going to have access to drugs, and then you're putting them in a worse environment? Why not send them to treatment? The decriminalization of a lot of the drugs is going to save people instead of doing the opposite. And it's so funny. It's the baby boomer generation, who was the same generation that was all free love and drugs and all that, are the same motherfuckers saying, don't do drugs. You're fucking hypocritical. You're dumb. Dumbass motherfuckers. You're old, you're antiquated, you're outdated, you have no purpose left on this earth. You really don't. You serve no purpose other than to remind people that you're racist, that you're bigoted, and that you place all your stock on imaginary sky people, and you really don't give a shit about other people. Because like I said before, you're the do as I say, not as I do generation. Still that way. It's still fucking that way. You're a disgrace. That whole entire generation, and Generation Xers, you don't have it any better. You guys are ironically the ones who raised the Tide Pod eaters. You guys are dumbasses too, doing whippets and doing all sorts of shit, doing all sorts of drugs, and having those dumbass commercials, that were, aimed at criminalizing the crack epidemic. But look at white people suffering in the fucking opioid epidemic, and black people are sitting back like, ha, y'all getting the same fucking treatment. I don't feel for you at all. I really don't. Y'all want to go fuck around with meth addicts. You guys want to fuck around and criticize heroin and crack dealers. Well, y'all getting caught up in the opioid epidemic, and you're expecting people to feel bad for you. You're expecting people to be like, oh no, we should call it. No, fuck you guys. Fuck you guys too. Now you guys want shit to change. Oh, well, people shouldn't go to jail. Like, yeah, when you have politicians who we have to pass a law, or we the people have to get petitions to get signed, to where politicians and public employees have to use their own funds to battle sexual harassment lawsuits, and use their own funds to battle themselves out of court for doing drugs and buying prostitutes. It's just ironic that we had to pass a law, or we had to get petitions and get a change process going for them to stop using our fucking money to go do that. The fact that they had the access to public funds to make that shit happen is utterly insane. They should have always been having to use their personal money to do that. It's just incredible. I'm just sick and tired of it. So since getting back from Mexico, I realized that we're still the land of shit. Everybody espouses, oh, we're the land of the free because of the brave. Nope. We're the land of the do as I say, not as I do, motherfuckers. And we're the land of the hypocrisy is what we are. We criminalize everything. We have officers in Oregon and California and Washington criminalizing homelessness instead of trying to find solutions. The solution is, we're going to develop an intricate busing system where we just bus motherfuckers the fuck out of here. We're going to spend federal dollars on a program where we get tickets and bus motherfuckers across the country, so the transit stay in transit and they constantly move around the country to different spots and get dropped off. That's what happens. There's no solution. They don't give a fuck because it doesn't affect them personally. And we have a situation coming out of California where you have Antelope Valley Hospital patient dumping. They were caught patient dumping. And why this isn't fucking national news is beyond me. Beyond my understanding. How is it that and they're not the only ones that were caught doing this. No way. They're not the only ones that do this. There are other hospitals that patient dump because they're motivated by profit. They're not motivated by the well-being of the person. They're not motivated by actual health care. And we are the last stronghold nation of idiots that don't have universal health care for its citizens. It's just a fucking amazing that we just don't have it in us to have cost-free health care. And then the talking points of, well, we have Canadians and everybody flying here to get their surgeries. No, that's not fucking true. Stop fucking lying. Stop being untruthful about that shit. This nation's leaders, and I'm not even going to call them leaders, they're fucking servants, their public servants, and their constituency, us, we the people, are their boss. We have situations in this country where we see atrocity day in and day out. There are new videos every day of police brutality, of police misconduct. Not even a fraction, not even a tiny fraction of those go to court, because one, our system would just be full of just that. It would literally be a system full of just that. That's why law enforcement officials investigate themselves and find themselves that they did nothing wrong. Happens all the time. My case in particular, they investigated themselves. They chose not to pursue charges because, well, that would entangle them in a court battle. They're still going to have to go to court. They're still going to have to pay the piper. And they're eventually going to have to release that information. I got told by a representative from the Texas Attorney General's office that said that they can withhold evidence. They can withhold that information indefinitely. They've probably already destroyed the tapes. They've probably already destroyed the audio. They've probably already destroyed they've probably, there's no way there's going to be a police report written because of that. And they're essentially going to do whatever they can to get away with the fact that they violated my rights, had my kids taken away for 6 months, and they committed crimes. False detention, Fifth Amendment violations, Fourth Amendment violation, First Amendment violation, Second Amendment violation, you name it, they fucking violated almost all the amendments, except for the third. They kept going. Copper's Cove is a Copper's Cove, Clean, that whole area, trash. It's a miracle that we have a base there. And it's a miracle that more and more Texans allow that shit to happen. Why are Texans allowing the Attorney General to indefinitely withhold information from you? It's public information. Just because an agency chooses not to prosecute you doesn't mean you are not entitled to that information. You are. And they said they filed it under the section, but nothing in that section gives any logical reason to anybody why that information was withheld. It doesn't. So, just letting you guys know I'm back on the warpath. This has been kind of a long little video. I'm going to upload it here soon. But I'm back on the warpath. Amber Geiger, I hope you rot in prison the rest of your fucking life, lady. You committed the crime. You should do the time. That's what they say to us. That's what they say all the time. Well, you need to find it in your heart to think about that officer. No, fuck that bitch. Fuck that bitch. She deserves to rot in prison. I don't give a fuck. And any officer involved in the cover-up, which there was one, there was an attempted cover-up, needs to be prosecuted to the full extent of the law. And I have no sympathy at all, period. And I'll say this every fucking day. I have no sympathy anymore for officers shot in the line of duty. I have no more sympathy for that. I don't care. You can call me cruel. You can call me an asshole. You can call me a monster. I don't care. There's no more sympathy coming from me. I have family members that are fucking police officers. I have friends that are police officers. And I have no sympathy because you motherfuckers chose to do that job. You motherfuckers have chosen a profession that literally ruins lives every day. What good? Can you name one good thing an officer does? They might save a life. I don't know when, in a given situation. Maybe. But they don't prevent crime. They don't stop crimes from happening. They show up afterwards, take notes, and fucking leave. And a lot of people are like, well, when a crime's being committed, next time call a crackhead. Well, at least a crackhead I know will be strapped and ready to go. I'll call a crackhead. At least if I have a good rapport with my crackhead, that crackhead's going to fucking defend me. Cops show up around me, they probably be like, well, what did you do? Probably throw cuffs on me and then deal with it afterwards. Those motherfuckers shoot first, ask questions later. We've allowed them to do that in this country. We've allowed them to violate rights up the wazoo, and they get away with it time and time and time and time again because they've been allowed to get away with it. We're going to get to the point where, and it's already happening, red flag laws are already in play. They already, like, we had a situation here in Arizona my first day back. In fact, I was driving back, and there was a so-called, and we don't know the actual truth because we haven't gotten the whole story yet, but there was a so-called domestic incident where law enforcement officers were called to a scene, and they had a shootout with a veteran. Time and time again, when the truth does come out, usually what ends up happening is the law enforcement officers instigated the hostility, or they got called because some nosy neighbor made a false call because they heard a loud television, they heard some arguing, and some folks argue loud. That doesn't mean there's violence happening. Now, if there was a situation where a lady ran to your neighbor's door and she's crying, or you saw her getting knocked out by the old man and, you know, everything like that, by all means, address that issue. Do it. You know, call the cops and go over there and handle business your goddamn selves. We as citizens need to take control of our goddamn selves. We need to be able to defend ourselves too. We need to be able to defend ourselves when hostile agents of the state are coming to take your guns for no fucking reason. Now, in the situation I gave you, when there's a domestic incident, you know, if you're the veteran in question, hey, very simple process here. You talk to law enforcement officers. You say, hey, this is what happened. We're arguing, you know. But at the same time, you know, if you know you've done nothing wrong, you and your old lady behind the door, and she says, hey, you know, hey, we done, you know, there was just a simple argument, everything's good, and they choose not to leave, and they try and go into your home after that, you have every right to defend yourself. You have every right to put every one of those officers down, because what they're doing at that point is they're violating the law. They're violating your rights. And I'm a firm believer of, hey, no-knock raids, they're a violation of the Constitution. They subvert your rights. And they get judges time and time again to sign off on bullshit. We saw this with the Houston raid. Where's the accountability in that raid? You got, what, 2 officers? Even there was like a fuck ton of officers. Like every officer involved in that needs to go to prison because it resulted in the death of 2 individuals that didn't commit a crime other than defending themselves. That's a very valid situation where 2 motherfuckers are minding their own business. A so-called informant who was never actually anywhere near was used as justification for a judge to sign off on a warrant, which they did a no-knock raid in civilian clothes. Guy didn't know who the fuck was what, and then he decided to shoot down a couple officers before they killed him. And then you got what, 2 motherfuckers that are gonna go to prison for that, or they're gonna get locked up? No, every officer involved needs to go to prison in that situation. The judge needs to go to prison in that situation. You as a judge need to validate shit. You can't just take the word of officers anymore. We need to have a process in place where a judge is like, okay, show me the video. Tell me the process in which you're going to take this dude down. Why do you need a no-knock raid? Why can't you wait till this motherfucker leaves the house and go to the gas station? Why all the pretense and the hostility? Why do we need to fucking suit up our people in civilian clothes? What good does that do to anybody? How do you know motherfuckers are cops when you're wearing no identifiable things other than your fucking gun and a fucking badge that can be bought online? Seriously. Motherfuckers with a badge and gun think they have more rights than everybody else. They're sovereign citizens. A lot of people throw that term around the last couple of years lately, like, oh, well, you need to stop being a sovereign citizen. When you choose not to identify to an officer, you need to comply. No, the fuck you don't. When an officer is making an unlawful command, when they're doing something that's against the law, you absolutely do not have to comply. You have every right as a citizen to resist that arrest. You have every right as a citizen to not comply with unlawful requests. You have every right as a citizen to put that officer down and take them out. You have every right as a citizen to do that. We are a country founded on fucking up police. The redcoats were the police. We are a country founded on giving the middle finger to taxes. We had the Boston Tea Party for that. Why are we not a country that does that shit anymore? We are allowing an oligarchy of politicians and a ruling class of rich people to overstretch their boundaries. We're allowing them to bully police and government officials to do their bidding. So we as the people need to pull back on the yoke and say, you know what, fuck you people. We're actually the Lord and Master of our land here. The fact that I saw on the news just the other day that the fact that banks and government agencies can take someone's house from them because they're not paying a property tax after they've already paid off that house for years. And sometimes it's a clerical error where that property tax doesn't get paid. And then those motherfucking bankers are quick. They're like, oh, no, you got 20 days. And we're going to send you this one notice. You got 20 days to come up with $2,000. Otherwise, we're going to have to own your property. You are not a homeowner. You are not a property owner if you do not own the property. Once you've paid off your house, you own it. Once you've paid enough fucking money on that land, you own the land. Not the bank, not the government, but you and your family. And we've lost that. We've lost that in this country. We've lost the ability to have balls in this country, and it's just amazing that we don't take matters into our own hands more often. You know motherfuckers, real motherfuckers that took matters into their own hands and came out on top? The Bundys. Everybody wants to naysay against the Bundys. Oh, well, they just don't want to pay their taxes. Abso-fucking-lutely. They're fucking patriots. Why the fuck do they just get imposed tax and you got fucking federal agents coming onto their property trying to murder their cows? We had video of it. Fucking burn their shit. We have video of it. And then when they take matters into their own hands and defend themselves, they get locked up. And then the court can't find they actually did anything wrong because they're defending themselves from federal fucking goons. But everybody wants to downplay that. They don't want to really talk about that. I'm just sick and tired of it. I'm sick and tired of coming back to a country where we're supposed to be the fucking land of the free. And a lot of people are like, well, you have freedom to make this video. Come on, man. I'm probably going to have the FBI knocking on my door or doing a raid in the next week or so. It's a possibility. They can catch this video and be like, yo, hey, well, you made threats. No, I'm just informing people of what they're allowed to do. I'm informing people that, yes, you are allowed to kill law enforcement officers. You are allowed to kill federal agents. You are allowed to use your Second Amendment right, a right that they are not supposed to infringe upon with red flag laws, and be able to win back or take back our fucking country. We're allowed to do that. So here's my thing. Here's my take on this. At the end of the day, law enforcement officers should absolutely fear the people. They absolutely should. And they should get double the amount of time in prison, in jail for every crime that they commit. Double the amount of fines. You got fucking Tempe police officers. You got Phoenix police officers. You got Mesa police officers. Motherfuckers are on their phones constantly texting while driving. Constantly on the phone while driving. Yeah, they're going to impose, what, $500-$600 fine on a citizen they pull over that they accuse, not actually like have video of, but they accuse of driving while texting or driving while on the phone. Yeah, these motherfuckers do it every day. They're sovereign citizens. If they believe that they are above the law and they're allowed to do things outside of the law, then they're sovereign citizens. That's just plain as day. So, end of rant. I'm done. I'm within 30 minutes. I'm not trying to beat a dead horse here. But I'm going to have more to say this upcoming week. I'm going to drop more videos, more content. And tune in to David's Life and Observation.
Get out of the car now!
Why am I being apprehended? You trying to give me a ticket for your failure?
Get out of the car.
Why am I being apprehended? You just opened my car door. You just opened my car door. So you threatening to drag me out of my own car.
Get out of the car!
And then you gonna stop me?
I will light you up. Get out!
Wow.
Now!
Wow.
Get out of the car!
Really, for a failure to signal. You doing all of this for a failure to signal.
Get over there.
Right, yeah. Yeah, let's take this to court. Let's do
Go
it.
ahead.
For a failure to signal. Yep, for a failure to signal.
Get off the phone.
On my school.
Get off the phone.
I'm not on the phone. I have a right to record. This is my property. This is my property. Sir?
Put your phone down. Right now.
You doing all of this for a failure
Get
to
over there.
signal. You
I
gonna
will
stop
light
me?
you up. Get out.
Wow.
You okay?
I'm waiting on you. This is your job. I'm waiting on you. What do you want me to
Oh,
do?
you seem very irritated.
I am. I really am. Because I feel like this tap is what I'm getting the ticket for. I was getting out of your way. You were speeding up, tailing me. So I move over and you stopped me. So yeah, I am a little irritated, but that doesn't stop you from giving me the ticket. So let's continue.
Are you done?
You asked me what was wrong and I told you.
Okay.
So now I'm done, yeah.
Okay. You mind putting out your cigarette, please? Don't mind.
I'm in my car, but I have to put out my cigarette.
Well, you can step on out now.
I don't have to step out of my car.
Step out of the car. Step out of the car.
No, you don't have the right.
Put your phone down.
How do you guys feel about the Sandra Bland Act of 2017?
The Sandra Bland Act of 2017. Explain it to me.
Okay, well, in July of 2015, there was a trooper. His name was Encinius, I believe. And he stopped a black woman from Chicago. And then the situation quickly escalated when he told her to put out her cigarette. And then he pulled out a taser. He said he would light her up. One thing led to another. She ended up in the Waller County Jail. And 3 days later, she was found dead.
Yep. Now, what does the act exactly do?
Now, I don't believe anybody can realize the magnitude of the problem until they get into it. Like John said, there's a myriad of reasons.
How long have you been domestic terrorists to the Constitution of our United States?
Sandy speaks. Sandy is speaking, and again, I do apologize. And if I'm looking a little crazy, this is because this is a test. It's time, y'all. It's time. This thing that I'm holding in my hand, this telephone, this camera, it is quite powerful. Social media is powerful. We can do something with this. If we want to change, we can really, truly make it happen. You know, we sit out here and talk about, oh, we need the next so-and-so and this and that. No, you don't. No, you don't. Start in your own home. Start with you.
Free speech, free exercise of religion, and freedom from government establishments of religion. All these freedoms are protected by the First Amendment.
In this screencast, we'll discuss the 14th Amendment. It's not technically part of the Bill of Rights, but it's very important to it. The 14th Amendment was passed in 1868, just shortly after the Civil War. Among many things it does, it ensures the rights enumerated in the 1st through 10th Amendments would apply to all people. It said the citizens of all states are also citizens of the United States, and the state governments shall not infringe upon the rights of citizens of the United States. So at this point in history, the Bill of Rights and the U.S. Constitution protected people in their interactions with both the federal and the state governments. The new U.S. Constitution began on September 17, 1787. That's when a convention of delegates from 12 states, all of them except for Rhode Island, proposed a new constitution to the people through the Continental Congress for ratification. The colonists rebelled because the English king, this guy, George III, refused to them all of their historic rights as free English citizens. Americans, before the Revolution, believed that the law was superior to any government, even the king's, and they wanted to secure those rights for their future.
Alright guys, I'm going to end this feed. I'm going to try and give you something to watch tomorrow. You know, my phone's gone. I'm going to see if I can go on my laptop. No one knows where my phone is. So I have to try and get my phone in the morning. I have to try and find some content to release to you guys. Hopefully the stuff is saved to my Google Photos and I can find something. But I appreciate everyone's love. Thank you so much for everything that you guys have done for me. And you know, I couldn't have done this without you. I was in there just thinking about everybody, thinking about a Doja girl, and you know, I had a tough moment, guys, where I thought to myself, maybe I should have just walked away. Maybe I should have just given up. And maybe I should stop thinking maybe because my rights were violated. I'm a tough son of a bitch and I'm not gonna take this shit. You guys gave me a lot of strength tonight. Hot tow truck girl. You know, Joe Orga drove all the way down there. All of the folks out there that called and had my back. Thank you. You guys are my saving grace. You keep pushing me forward, and excuse me if I get a little bit emotional, but I asked myself and you guys when we did the first live stream about Joe Lunar, I wonder if he felt alone. And never did I feel alone. You know, for a second we always have that quick thought, like, what if I did this? What if I did that? And it was a resounding screw the what ifs. We're in this together, and we're in it for the long haul. We're gonna keep doing this. We're not gonna let them stop us. We're a team. What's up, Glenn? Oh, I'm not gonna quit. And you know what? That momentary, what if I should, thank you, Espen, thank you, Espen. That momentary, should I have walked away was the best thing. Wild Nick, yes, man, thank you. That quick second of maybe I shouldn't have done this, that's the best thing that could have ever happened to me. Because the moment that we question our own freedom, and the moment that we say to ourselves, maybe I should have just let my rights be violated instead of fighting for them. That's the moment that this country has lost the beauty that it has. And it gave me a fire under my ass. This isn't gonna stop, it's not gonna slow down, it's not gonna separate. We're gonna hit it, and we're gonna hit it even more hard. Because we're out here, guys. We're out here together. And we're not gonna quit. Just like Joe Cool didn't quit when he got illegally arrested, just like Joe Luna didn't quit when he got illegally arrested, just like Anselmo didn't quit when he got illegally arrested. I'm not gonna quit because I got illegally arrested, because I got illegally maced, because I got illegally hit and beat by these stupid pig tyrants. You knocked me back. You know what? I felt a little broken tonight, people. Thank God for being broken, because it lets you put a much better version of yourself back together. Bigger, faster, stronger, freer. And that's the reason I wanted to thank you today. Stay safe out there, guys. I love every one of you.
In the year 1773, James Warren proposed that Sam Adams form a committee of correspondence. And this was a group that would write letters and then distribute these letters across America. The committees of correspondence would be in each town, and they would pass along news to inform the rest of the nation of injustices being committed in Boston. And in there, James Warren writes, "The rights of the colonists and of this particular province in particular, as men and as Christians and as subjects, to communicate and publish the same to the several towns in this province and to the world as the sense of this town." So in other words, we got atrocities going on here. We want to let the rest of the world know about it. You know, unless the world knows, it can go on.
Bro, that ain't even right. I have nothing to do with it. You have no reason to be videotaping my car. You have no reason to be videotaping it. Then back up.
You got the wrong idea.
No, sir, because that ain't right, because I have nothing to do with your issue.
Trust me, I'm not involved in it.
You're putting my stuff on things that isn't right.
You got nothing to worry about.
Can I just move into over there, please?
Sir?
Well, he's videotaping my whole car.
You have no right to put their information on YouTube. You want to put me on there, you go ahead.
First of all,
you leave them out of it.
First of all, I don't know what you guys are thinking I'm going to do with that information, but all I'm doing is
put it on
keeping.
YouTube. I know what you do with it.
Of course I do.
These are juveniles. You have nothing to do with this call.
I just really wanted to thank you from the bottom of my heart for standing up for something that to us means a lot, the Bill of Rights. And Open Carry Texas has a goal of definitely fostering a cooperative spirit with law enforcement. Yeah. And so I know sometimes it's tough, but like when that asshole came all the way from Houston to be an asshole with guns and knives and stuff like that, you guys handled yourselves very well. And that's
6 minutes.
It's something like these problems can't be fixed by just passing laws sometimes. That's right. And so really the solution has to come from the community to love each other better and encourage people to take responsibility for their own selves. So thanks for taking the very much.
Can I take a selfie with you, sir? I appreciate it. Thank you, sir. God bless you. Thank you for your comments.
Can I get a
Oh, hi guys. And on behalf of veterans here in El Paso, thank you for everything you and your own. Stay safe out there and God bless.
Could we get a picture with you, sir? Sure. Okay.
I got you.
Get in there, guys.
Thank you, sir.
Oh, you bet. Kind of shady.
I know you're not about politics, you're just speaking what you think is what people need to hear because your responsibility is to the community safety. And so, anyway, I'll let you go. Thank you for your time.
No problem. Yeah, stay safe again. Hang in there, right?
Great job, sir. Thank you.
Take care.
Have a good day, Chief.
45, by the way. Oh, thanks.
Why do you keep doing that? Fuck you. Stop doing that. What's your problem? I'm still waiting for your black eye. You're the one escalating things with your spotlight. You can play all the games you want. Hey, what's your name and badge number? Officer? Officer, what's your name and badge number? I'm asking you a question. What's your name and badge number? Officer, can you hear me? Are you deaf? What's your name and badge number? You got a spotlight in my face for no reason. What's the problem? Seriously, why are you doing this? What's your problem? What is the deal? What is the purpose of doing that? Just to blind my camera for no reason? Why do you have a problem with cameras? You put on a uniform to serve the public. No, I'll stand right here.
No, sir, go and turn
Back
around
up,
from me,
dude.
okay? No, sir, go and turn around from me, okay?
I didn't do nothing.
Sir, go and turn around.
I didn't do nothing. Dude, what the fuck?